Um, Good morning. I thought I haven't talked on YouTube for a while, and for the most part, everything is going pretty well, and recovery's happening. Uh, Leukemia is so different because it's cancer mixed with a transplant, and transplants are never easy. Um, no matter what kind of transplant you have. I mean, I did not have an incision, but it still takes a lot out of you because my new stem cells have been working and working really hard where you can't see it. And it's frustrating because you can't see it. When you have a scar or an incision where you should be down because you've been cut open, this is kind of different. You can't see it. You can't put your hands on it. Why am I tired? Why do I have this nausea? Why? Because it just went through, you just got some stem cells right through your IV, and you don't get it. Now, like with the chemo, when they were getting rid of the cancer part, that made sense to me. The chemo makes you ill, and the chemo that I had was pretty intense, and it wasn't spread out over a period of time. It was bam, all in 5 days. So it made sense why I was sick. Taste buds, not feeling well, losing weight, all of that fell right into it. But when you start like gaining some weight back and you get some energy back, but then other things kind of fall into place, and I think, when you have a mindset of, I can do this, I've done this before, I did this in the past, I feel good, and then you turn around and you can't. And very frustrating. Today I'm having a very frustrating day. I've been having nausea, and basically what I found out is it's from the GVHD, which is the new stem cells fighting my body a little bit. It's not bad, dangerous, bad. Some people, I can have this GVHD for the rest of my life. Along with it is a side symptom of nausea. I also found out that I can have that for the rest of my life. Yeah, there's things we can do. I mean, there are some steroids that work to help with the nausea, but long-term use, that's not good. So I can't really do that. I mean, occasionally. They have me on something like that has a steroid in it, and it's an oil-based, corn oil-based, and I take it every 4 hours, and it doesn't stay in the system, so the steroid doesn't stay there, which is a good thing. And there's plenty of nausea medicines out there. However, most of them make you tired. So it's a catch-22. I mean, I've been pretty good the last couple of days. So this new little corn oil mixture is working for the most part. I feel a little off. But it really is frustrating because you don't think about, these things aren't told to you. There's another thing, and it's very private, and I didn't talk about, that I also realized is going to affect, my intimate life. And it's not horrible by any means. And if I'm with a partner that cares about me, it definitely won't be horrible. It's nothing that, it's not like I can't have sex or anything like that, but it's not something that I would be used to, and not something, it's definitely fine, but in my mind, I'm thinking another thing, this. And then now they're telling me that I could have the nausea the rest of my life. It doesn't mean I'm going to, and I know that, I'm smart enough to know that. However, when you hear it and you're sitting in with the doctor and you hear that and I didn't know about all that. I knew that the chemo would be hard. I knew that I would lose some weight. I knew that I'd lose my hair. I knew, that I would be tired for a while. What's a while? You don't tell me that, the normal time to recoup is 6 months to a year, and expect me to say, I'll be the one at a year. I'm going to say I'm going to be the one at 6 months to recoup and be better, and I'm not. And I don't like that. And that's just me, and that's my competitiveness, and that's what I expect from myself. Yes, there's people that have told me I'm too hard on myself, but that's where I get where I'm at, I mean, if I'm not hard on myself, who's going to be? Because no one really is. Not hard on me in that way, anyway. There's some assholes out there. But, so, it's important for me to be hard on myself. I I struggle. I have days, and because of the nausea was really bad the last week or so, and my son was out, and I couldn't really, and with my granddaughter, and I couldn't really get up and play and do all that because as soon as I got up and started doing something, it hit, and I'd have to sit down. Now, mind you, I'm not like literally getting sick with it, but if I don't watch it, I probably would. I don't know. I mean, I catch it and I sit down and relax and let it go away, or I take some medicine and let it go away. But it kept me from playing with my granddaughter. Um, it's getting better now. Of course, they're gone. But, you know, she brought some paints and wanted me to paint. I couldn't even, it was so hard for me to paint. And I did it and we got it done, but I felt really bad. I don't get to see her that often, you know, maybe once every other year. So it's not like, you know, she lives around the corner and I go, okay, when grandma feels better, I'll come over. But, you know, and again, I'm not used to it. I'm used to going out like with my other granddaughter and running around the park with her and, you know, keeping up with her and I can't. So I know, okay, for me listening, I know in my head, things will be okay. They may not be perfect or anything like that, but they will be okay. I've come to some things. The way I look physically bothers me a lot. I don't like it. I worked so hard before and I loved my body, and I got to the point where I was so confident in myself. You know, I liked the way my hair was looking. I liked the way my body was coming along, and it didn't even need any more work. It just needed maintenance. And I liked that and I loved it. And it's the first time in my life I could honestly look in the mirror naked and go, I'm okay with that. I'm not so much okay with it anymore. However, no, I mean, my body isn't definitely, and I don't know that it ever will be. I mean, let's get honest. That was a lot of work, and I just have to, I can work at it and I can work out and I can be strong again and flexible again and have some muscle tone, but I don't know that I'm going to ever have that body. Good or bad, I don't know. But I have come to be, and one of the reasons why the body is so important to me is because I have never felt attracted to men. And so having this issue with my body and the way I look now, I get scared. I get scared that there won't be, you know, someone for me. However, I don't care. I have come to the realization that if I'm going to meet someone and they don't like me the way I am now, what the fuck? I mean, realistically, if they only liked me with the muscle tone and that kind of thing, then I don't want anything to do with them anyway. You know, I don't look horrible by any means, but even if I, you know, if I wasn't, I still have decided that I have a lot to offer that's not physical, you know, as far as the way I look. The part that I have to work on is how I feel like in the bedroom. I have to be able to be confident enough with that person to be okay without clothes on. So that's the only issue. And if someone cares about me a lot and enjoys my body no matter what way it is, I think that will clear itself out. I didn't have that in the past, so I can't compare it to anything. However, I think I could get past that. I'm old enough now and have had relationships, and you know, the whole Instagram thing has helped me through that. So I think I can get past that. I think I can. I feel somewhat better. I'm gonna go clean because I need to do that. However, I'm gonna clean in spurts. I'll do a little bit at a time because I'm in no hurry. I'm not working, which is another issue. I was told my chart says I need to go back to work in a year, so I have to wait till the summer. I don't want to go back to work with all these little side issues with the nausea, and I want to know how I can control that and what kind of is how I can get past it. And I think I will by a year. I don't want to be at work and constantly have to leave or constantly not feel well. You know, even though I can power through it, I want to be a little bit more back to me. I know I never will be me, but a little more back to me. It is frustrating, and this is a you know, it's a different thing than just cancer, or it's different than just a transplant. It's it all. and and I think that's where leukemia becomes so hard. And because every time you hear about leukemia, it's like I was hearing it on the TV, these people die. And that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of work they're doing with leukemia. Now, most people survive. It's not leukemia that kills people anymore. It's the infections afterwards. It's because of your immune system, or it's the GVHD. Something's just totally not connecting in there, you know, with the transplant. So I mean, it does have double duty because it's the cancer and it's the transplant, and it's hard. So I have to remember that too when, you know, when someone says, oh, you know, you're in remission. Oh yeah, I'm in remission from my cancer for sure. I don't have leukemia anymore, but my body's still working on this transplant, and it may work on it forever, and may not. It's just that they might not get along completely. However, you know, my blood counts are good, my liver's good, my kidneys are good, my heart's good. My blood pressure's a little high, but I have that steroid thing that I'm taking with the corn oil, so that could be it. But I mean, all in all my tests are really good, very positive. Even the dietitian said that I've come along more than the majority of the people. She was so shocked at how good my tests were as far as my health and my dietary, you know, needs. And she just says it's, you know, really the triglycerides and this and that were like, no one carries that number this long after a transplant. So I'm grateful, and I feel good that I'm healthy there, because that's going to help me. And I'm very grateful. However, I do sometimes need to vent. Sometimes I feel guilty, you know, I feel like, God damn it, why does this have to last for a year? You know, and I'll talk to somebody about it and they'll say, well, it won't. It could, you know, and I don't have anyone to bounce that shit off. It doesn't just let me bounce it off. You know, it's how I felt at the time. I'm not